Hello, my loved ones. How are you doing? I hope okay. It's been very difficult times, and if you need somebody to talk to, or if you need like a group of people, you can discuss all kinds of like natural health things and current events and how this influences us. Please join us with the vegan ethical Dr. Moore's groups. But today my focus is going to be, and finally this topic is, I'm so passionate about this, and this is what defined me, and this is why I went into the natural healing world. And allopathic doctors call it cancer. So I believe it's like a life obstacle, just like another one, that we face in our lifetime, and that you can overcome naturally. So I want to give you today, I'm going to give you a little bit like an intro, what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about like my personal experience with cancer, or we call it acidosis. I want to talk about like what is cancer, and then, what can we do to maybe help ourselves, which is basically about diet, about rest, about herbal support, botanicals you can use to help yourself, about mental, emotional detoxification and mindset that we have to change in order to heal anything pretty much in our body, right? And then environment and movement. Okay, this is basically the workouts, the exercise, like what I recommend. And I'm going to give you at the end like a little bonus, little advice how to make juices and how to make like little cute drinks and stuff like that to make this path a little bit more fun and enjoyable for you. All right, so let us start. I'm going to probably read a little bit so I don't forget anything, but I'm really glad you're here. Let's start it, okay? So, personal story, the background, like why I even do what I do, right? 5 years ago, my mom called me and she was crying, and she was diagnosed with 3rd stage colon and ovarian cancer. She was very scared, and especially because 6 years prior, my uncle had a lung cancer, and I got into a fight with my whole family about this because I was insisting that they try like some natural methods before they go for chemo and everything. Sadly, nobody agreed with me at that point, and they decided for chemotherapy, and my uncle was gone in about 6 months. So with my mom, there was like 5 days of crying and screaming and begging and repeating a million times, who loves you more, doctors or me? So this went on, and then eventually I went to a doctor with her, and eventually we decided, doctor let me be, basically that gave me 3 months to try and do something natural or something, that I believe that could help my mom. So, and by the way, this doctor happened to be my school friend from high school, so he kind of knew I'm very passionate about natural healing all of my life, but now it became a little bit more real for me. I have to tell you, I was scared. I was so scared. I have read Arnold Ehret book. I have knew a lot about Gerson therapy, and because it was season of fresh oranges in Croatia and Island Vis, and we had like access to that. With my mom, we decided we're gonna juice oranges. That's why Orangehelia. There's another story, right? Right, Orangehelia, but that was one of the reasons. And we also did greens, basically not the greens per se, but we were basically collecting steaming fennel on the meadows in Slovenia around my parents' house and juicing them as well. It was very little, And also we use my uncle's raw CBD, or I would call this it's basically like a Rick Simpson oil, right? It's not really CBD per se. It's RSO, right? And it basically comes in like 30% CBD, 5% THC, and then has tons of chlorophyll. And chlorophyll, as you know, it really helps restore also cell membranes. So my dad was super angry. He told me like, if you hurt your mom, I'm gonna kill you. And I was scared. I was really scared. But my instincts were telling me like, this is it, try this. Okay, try this before she goes into the conventional treatment. And we did it, okay? So, yeah, in somewhere in my mind, I saw her dancing, I saw her having fun, I saw her, healthy again, because at that point she couldn't walk. She had like problems, with the colon, that basically like she was sitting all the time and on the sides and couldn't sleep on one side. I mean, it was horrible. But yeah, I was basically scared, but at the same time, like I didn't understand, like my mom was vegan 10 years prior, right? And then also what I think happened, she went for a walk on the field after it's been sprayed with glyphosate, Monsanto, on the field. And also, believe it or not, my dog Trinity, who went with her, she got similar cancer in her bladder about like a couple of months after her. So this is really horrible, and a couple of other people in the street had similar cancers. But long story short, besides juicing oranges, we also spend a lot of time talking about her traumas, what she went through, in her life, various betrayals, the guilt, disappointment over, other people, but also guilt about vaccinating me and hurting me. This is something that she still feels bad about, because, I had like a really strong reactions to vaccines. And also, we were talking in the woods, enjoy the sun daily. And when we started, it was horrible, okay? The headaches, the digestive issues, the running poop all the time, it was really, really bad, sickness. And this lasted about like a whole month, maybe like even 2 months. But then after 3 months, we went for checkup and cancer was much smaller, and my mom felt amazing, So the cancer markers were lower, and then doctor basically told me, okay, I give you another 3 months, and I give you another 3 months. And then basically after 8 months, my mom was like cancer free. So yeah, it was good ending, right? It was really good ending. But basically what we did, she still is like high fruit and low fat and low protein, plant-based diet, of course. And she daily does her walks in nature. So basically, she's still sticking to it 5 years into it. And it was really weird, because then after my mom, her friends came and some family came, and I became basically like a cancer naturally healing expert, which is like not true at all. Like I had no clue what I'm doing, at least not at that point. I just listened to my instincts and what I knew from a couple of books, Gerson book, and like I said, Eckhart book. And then at some point, after learning, about Dr. Morse, this changed basically my whole profession and what I'm doing now as well. And I really, really like got into this journey of natural health. Yeah. I would say it's also because I just saw, great effect, and I saw how people are, doing great. So that was really like major for me, that then I decided, okay, this is what I should do. This is, like it was a message, go and do this. People need you, like there is a lot of allopathic treatments, but there's maybe not so much of the natural help that people can maybe try before they go into this traditional, allopathic treatments, which is basically radiation, chemo, and of course surgery. All right, so let's start. I'm gonna kind of like read a little bit, so I definitely don't miss anything for you, okay? So what is cancer, really? So cancer is caused by extreme acidosis in parts of our whole body due to the bad diet, weak genetics, emotional trauma, environmental trauma, lack of movement, disconnect from the nature and our true self, that results in damaged or mutated cells. If we look at the tumors, they're just a wrap encased, right, for damaged or mutated cells build out of cholesterol, water, and calcium to protect the rest of the body from the harm. So basically toxins. So to explain this a little bit more primitive, right? Each one of our cells is like a baby. It eats from blood. Basically, cardiovascular system has pump, which is basically heart, and poops, cellular waste, which is basically toxins, bad bacteria, viruses, acidic material, into lymphatic system. So lymph nodes being a ground zero, and because they don't have, lymphatic system doesn't have a pump, we need movement is needed, right? So we got to move. So that's why I always push walking every day. We'll get to that. When there is too much poop around the cell gets damaged, mutated, or even die. Beside that, in our digestive system is not clean, and healthy our mucosa, so basically little polyps inside of our colon, cannot absorb nutrients, basically vitamins, minerals, enzymes from the food we eat. And especially if we cook food, then it's this, it's even less nutrients in that. So we get even less nutrients to our cells. And blood will not deliver proper nutrition to each one of these cells, basically, our little babies, right? So of course, our poor cells that do not get proper nutrition via blood and are floating in their toxic poop will cry for help and eventually die, right? So that is something that, we should expect, right? So to use a little bit more scientific language, let me read a little bit what I wrote basically about that. Acidosis is an excessive acidity of body fluids due to an accumulation of acids. The hydrogen ion concentration is increased and thus the pH is decreased. Acidosis leads to an immune response called inflammation. So acids are a class of compounds that have low pH, usually sour to the taste, and in their pure form are even corrosive, like, citric acid, benzoic acid, formic acid, uric acids, phosphoric acids, carbonic acid, etc., right? They can be either organic or inorganic compounds. Acids can irritate and inflame the tissue of the body. They can also become free radicals, and we know about that, right? We don't want free radicals running around our body, for sure. So pretty much like all diseases in our body start because of 3 reasons. So one would be acidosis, basically that causes inflammation, congestion, ulceration, atrophy, tissue failure, and low pH. Then the second thing would be toxicity, right? So also congestion, cellular damage, inflammation, and tissue failure. And the third one would be basically a combination of tissue weakness, failure caused by genetics, could be acidosis and or toxicity, right? All of this together. But basically what we are talking about the most is 2 root causes, and this is issues. And this is basically like for all illnesses, right? Not even illnesses. We're talking, allopathic doctors give us symptoms, talk about my symptoms, but there's basically 2 major problems that cause all illnesses and problems in the body. And that would be first, number 1, remember this one, damaged, blocked digestive system, GI tract, your belly. Each cell in our body gets the nutrition from blood via colon from the food we eat. And we can call it like a body's kitchen, right? And then the second element that is root cause of the issues in our body is not properly functioning lymphatic system, or you can say even but basically it's a big system. It's basically bigger. Lymphatic system is bigger even than blood system, but cardiovascular system, right? But can be called our body sewage system or cellular waste. When cellular waste is not leaving our body via lymphatic system, then good bacteria cannot handle fighting cellular acidic toxic waste, and bad bacteria, viruses, and lymphatic nodes, and then not properly functioning kidneys. So cellular waste cannot leave our body via urine, and also, beside the skin and mucus and blood. So basically 2 things, right? Our digestive system, our kidneys. This is like the focus of, what we're focusing on when we're like naturally healing any kind of like issue in the body. So so this is pretty much like cause of all diseases in the body, regardless, thyroid disorders, any kind of problems you have. If you have lymphatic stagnation stagnating on top of your body, and you're not draining, thyroid issues, also like tumors in the head and so on, and it goes on. So I'll come to that later. But so health is a wholesome thing, okay? There's no shortcuts, right? And unlike what allopathic medicine does, like chemical drugs, radiations that repress symptoms or cut our organs via surgery out, right? We do not focus only on the symptoms, but primarily on the root cause of the problem that is manifested like various symptoms, right? Of course. I personally focus in this wholesome healing process on 6 things. That would be diet, rest, herbal support, environment, emotional healing, and movement. All right. So I would say like health is like, there's no shortcuts, you know. I would always look for that one magic plant or one magic drug or one magic, I don't know, chemical that you put inside your body and you're going to be healthy. This is not how it works, because the health is like maybe simple, but it's not simplistic. All right. And then, you know, we got to work it. We can't just like, you know, throughout the night become healthy, because it takes very long time to create a disease in our body. So let us start with the first thing that I think it's extremely important. It's like a core of everything we do, and that is diet, my friends. So number 1, diet. So the first thing to do is to change the intake from acid-forming foods to alkaline-forming foods, right? Consumption of alkaline-forming foods, which are mainly fruits and vegetables, will begin the detoxification, and rehydration process. Very important, rehydration, because fruits will enable this deep cellular hydration that we need with the damaged cells. If you wish to speed up the cleansing process, then fruits and vegetables must be all raw, uncooked, and unprocessed. If you wish to dig deeper into tissue and speed the process even further, you can switch to all raw, fresh fruits only. Fruits have the highest amount of antioxidants and astringent properties of all foods we have on this planet. Yes, their sugars are slow burning but powerful and will enhance the vitality of cells faster than any other food, and with much less digestive effort, right? Fruits digest in 1 hour, for instance, veggies in 3, meat, dairy in days. What does that say to us? We're probably frugivores, or at least our body is made to consume mostly fruits. Yes, it is our real original food, and we had to eat other things to survive, but no need to survive anymore. Technology is helping us to get like basically what we need now, and the core of our, you know, of our diet can be fruits again. So they also have the highest electrical properties of any food, and as you know, humans are the most electric, high vibrational beings on this planet. And it's also the most sustainable and compassionate diet. And by eating fruits, we do not harm animals or plants, because, you know, you don't pull out the plant, like for instance, carrots. You do not, you know, destroy the fields. Tree will stay, and the next year is going to give us again the fruits. And it's also like very, very sustainable, right? So the energies in raw fruits are so high that they speed up neuron transport and endocrine function, which is very important because we all have endocrine function problems, pretty much like 95% of people on this planet, right? And I have a little saying, you know, like I have like a little slogan: fruits heal, veggies build, other stuff might go for a while if you want to heal. So basically, you know, it's a simple thing to remember. You know, fruits will enhance our bodies to basically enable our bodies to heal, and then veggies will build it, and then other stuff will have to go for a while. So to go to a little bit deeper, right? Regeneration means rebuilding tissue that is failing, and detoxification is the method used to remove the inflammation and toxins that have caused these tissues to fail in the first place. Vitality and vibrancy should always be one's goal. Life then becomes exciting, joyful, and bubbling with energy. Like me. In nature, all forms of life consume some sort of food to sustain health. Most of nature eats intuitively. Human beings have lost a great deal of that intuitiveness, and therefore they primarily consume what society teaches them to eat, which is not good. Since money is one of the major motivating factors teachers, you know, in the world today, all right? Basically, money runs the show, right? In everything. Many products and foods are sold for financial gain at the expense of personal health. And we know, more processed it is, worse it is for us. More chemicals it has, worse it is for us. And I think more fried, processed, you know, worse. So as our species has become the sickest and most disease-ridden on this planet, That's sad, right? We want to regain this lost intuition for what truly are appropriate foods to sustain human life. And you guessed it, we said it already. It's natural, basically sugars, and it's basically fruits. So it takes about seven years for all cells in our body to replace. So technically we can heal anything and everything in your body in that time, and get completely new body, right? Like who I was 7 years ago as a, physical appearance, I'm not there anymore. Like it's a new cells completely, right? Our bodies are self-healing, powerful machines. And I repeat that so many times, that will always try to survive and fight for survival and heal if given the right circumstances, like everything else on this planet. Like when you cut yourself, our cells will act fast to stop the bleeding, heal, and eliminate the wound. That is how our cells also inside our body behave the same, right? Because we think, our body's like something out of control, but no, like you cut yourself and your body will try to heal. That's how it's going to be also inside your body, even if it's toxins attacking your cells or whatever is going on, and we are basically brainwashed to believe our body is like a mess that we cannot control, while our bodies have incredible self-intelligence that can surpass even our brain. That is why you need to trust your body, because it will always do the right thing. And a lot of people I know, like when they start, we'll talk about the next thing, which is a healing crisis. A lot of people panic because they think, oh my God, what's my body doing? When they get like a healing crisis symptoms. So in my book, less is more, right? And your body will understand and love the simplicity the most. Like chemical supplements like vitamins, minerals, probiotics, enzyme, fermented foods. Check my previous video, which is basically on supplements specifically, will work only short terms, and after do basically more damage than good, sadly. So stick to organic, ripe, fresh, possibly seasonal, local fruits. Long-term monofruits eating and juicing is one of the major helpful things that we use too. Quality of fruits correlates to healing speed based on my observation 5 years. Okay, guys, what does that mean? Your cell's basic building material is what you eat. So better, like it's basically like a better brick, better house. Okay, so better, higher quality of fruits will mean faster and more effective healing. So let's go to healing crisis a little bit. Okay. Because it's a scary thing. You can hear in my previous, my healing stories about the healing crisis and basically detox symptoms that can be quite intense, but they're definitely worth it. Okay, they're definitely worth it. So your whole body comes into play during these cleansing cycles, or what we call a healing crisis, which may include fevers, sweats, coughing, mucus discharge, diarrhea, skin rashes, and much more. During these healing cycles, the function of our immune system is enhanced, as well as eliminative organs, including the skin, right? And that's why, like, you can get, like, I got like all acne all over the place, rash everywhere, when I started the detoxing. Basically, it takes time to unclog the kidneys, and then, like your skin can become like nice and smooth, like a baby skin again, okay? Yes, so this is why it is important never to treat, but to detoxify and regenerate, your cells and your organs. In that detoxification process, the body will clean itself out. Many people, including healthcare practitioners, do not understand this process as they should. Okay, so here, this is a chapter of the Dr. Moore's Miracle Detox book, and I recommend that you look in detail about the healing crisis, and that's like on page 319. So definitely check that out. But I'm gonna go a little bit more into the healing crisis. So pain, like vomiting, fever, body pains, mucus, blood, loss of energy, fatigue, swelling, itching, can have many different levels depending on degree of inflammation and tissue degeneration. However, in bone cancer, other type of cancer, shingles, and certain other conditions, it might become necessary to use a pain medication. My favorite being basically raw CBD or RSO with tons of chlorophyll. Too much pain can weaken the spirit and the body to the point of death. Since pain medications cause constipation, the person taking them will want to stay on a bowel formula to enhance bowel management. It is necessary to always keep the bowels and lymphatic waste moving, especially with detoxifying, as this process creates an extra burden of toxins to be eliminated. All right, like, yeah, it's really important that, like, when you're detoxifying, that you know when to push and when to slow down. Right? If you see that it's too much, it's too painful, then we kind of slow down with the green juices and, you know, even like some cooked foods if it's needed. But in general, like, you know, you got to listen to your body and kind of understand that you can't always push detoxification, because it can harm you, and, you know, it can scare people because they're not, you know, not everybody's used to eating fruits all day and things like that, right? So detoxification can also drastically change blood, hair, saliva, and urine analysis, and to the untrained physician or healthcare practitioner, it can fool him into thinking the body is in trouble when it's only cleaning itself. I can tell you, I went to ER once on my healing crisis because I couldn't walk. I had pains, insane pains in my digestive system, my, you know, ovary that didn't work before. And, you know, oh my God, it's a bacteria in your urine. What's going on? Like, you know, they didn't know exactly what's wrong with me, but they just said, okay, take antibiotics and painkillers. You know, that's the solution. And they want to keep me even inside hospital. So I had to sign that, you know, if I refuse their treatment, that if something happens to me, I'm the one responsible for my life. And I signed that. I signed like it was like a pack of documents, right? And everybody's like looking at me like she's crazy, you know, but it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. So, you know, be aware of that, right? Blood cholesterol level and cancer markers, antigens can drastically increase in the initial stages of detoxification. That's why, for instance, you know, good that I actually forced my mom to kind of detox for like a, you know, 6 months, 3 months before we went for a checkup, you know, like just take it easy, you know, go slow. I did not say this process and natural healing is easy, right? Never. It's not easy. The downsides are that it takes time, sometimes years, to heal bodies we were abusing for years, decades before. And when toxic acidic acids start leaving the body parts, the pain can accompany them for sure. Sometimes things can get worse before they get better. All right, be aware of that. Tumors can enlarge before they start disappearing and shrinking. And we see our symptoms that we're trying to get rid of get even worse before they get better. But do trust your body, because it knows exactly what it's doing. So to the second point, which is basically rest. So rest. While we detox, what is important? Good sleep, you know, 7-8 hours, it's a must a day. And this is needed to regenerate your cells, right? Then another thing that we do is daily short dry fast. And this is like, we do like minimum 12 hours. So your internal organs have time to rest. And if you're waking up at night and drinking and eating, your kidneys and liver, of course, will never get a proper break. That's why you need this dry fast, 12 hours. And it's quite natural, you know, you stop eating, let's say at 9 o'clock in the evening, 9 p.m., and then you start eating again at 9 a.m. and drinking your juices and so on. So it shouldn't be too bad. It's kind of like we naturally do that, you know, but I don't do no extremes, okay? That's to me like no extremes, and really listen to your body when you do that. So to give your body a healing push, but also rest, we use dry fasting, juice fasting, of course, and then short water fasts. I'm not fond of like, you know, super long water fasts. I would say maximum 1 week. And if somebody's extremely sick, do not do this at all. It's not appropriate. Then go after fresh fruit juices and eating fruits, if the person can eat, of course, because that will give it energy and nutrition that we need badly. So the third point, and help, you know, with the process of natural healing and regenerating and detoxification, are herbal supports, basically botanicals. So herbs invoke cell power to cleanse and regenerate faster, and they're not hybrids. So they haven't lost their powerful nutritive and electrical properties. They carry original awareness of their creation. They're cellular proliferators. That's a hard word. that rebuild and strengthen the cells. And again, raw, uncooked is the best, but tinctures absorb the fastest. So like for instance, like teas still keep the most active medicinal properties despite cooking, but herbs promote detoxification through mild, nutritive and energetic stimulation. Sometimes less is more, right? So muscle test is recommended, that you see what herbs your body likes or what not, okay? Rotation of the herbs I recommend, you know, like after, you know, you basically do some kind of herbs for like 1 month, 2 months, and then you go to the other ones, you know, and breaks, you know, like maybe you take a break in between taking 2 months, you're taking herbs, and then 1 week you basically take a break and then you go back to herbs. So of course, and while taking them long term, right? If you're taking them so long term, and then you're going to benefit, you know, the most if you rotate them, because the potency of the herbs will be high up always. So we love, of course, we love to use Dr. Moore's herbal tinctures, capsules, and teas. But also using fresh herbs in your salads and for juicing some herbs is just incredible. You know, you can do this. And for the help, for the pain, right? And if you can't sleep, I always recommend the raw CBD and RSO to help with that too. The fourth point that I want to talk to you about would be mental, emotional detoxification and mindset. And this is so important, guys, like with reproductive system cancers, right? Especially I'm noticing it with females, they're very intelligent, you know, we can create good things in our life, you know, like you focus on something, you create that in your life, you bring it in your life. That's the same way when we're sad, when we're disappointed, we don't like ourselves, we bring on, you know, the negativity. So let me just a little bit talk about that, right? When you begin to increase the energy of your physical body through detoxification, you will start detoxifying in all of your bodies, right? Thoughts and emotions stick like glue to yourself and create subtle obstructions that can carry for a lifetime. So some say for many lifetimes. So if you start crying and yelling during your detoxification process, which is super common, okay? This is the reason. Let it all come out. All right, let it go, let it go. Be observant of your thoughts and feelings and try not to hold on to anything. Let these obstructions go. In a way, your river of energy and love can dominate inside of you once again. This is truly, I would say, the path to vitality and spirituality. And so try and rewire your brain is basically what I would call this, you know. Become aware of your internal self-talk and turn negative thoughts to positive without judging, please. Focus is on now, this very moment, you know. Actually, like dogs, if you're walking with dogs, you can actually, if you observe how they're focused on just this very moment, you know, and this is what that's what they can teach us, beside like reconnecting with nature, right? You know, past is past, and we cannot do anything about it anymore, and the future is unknown. So it is important to focus on this very moment and do the best you can right now. We all have some emotional traumas in the past, right? Family issues. Every family has its story. Nobody's perfect, and we all make mistakes. You know, I made mistakes, you made mistakes, you know, other people made mistakes and then hurt each other and so on. Forgive yourself, forgive everybody else who hurt you in your life. Probably somebody else did something similar to them too. It's always, you know, some kind of cycles that we're going through. These traumas and scars make us better and more compassionate people sometimes, and we appreciate all we have even more. Bring joy into your life. So dance, sing, you know, draw, make music, and do arts, you know, arts that basically heals. Daily practice positive affirmations, visualizations, what I call emotionalizations. And try and imagine how it feels to be healthy and happy and in a good mood, okay? Check also Joe Dispenza for some meditations and so on. And yeah, try and find a new mission and purpose in life by helping others. Let it be animals in a shelter, let it be farm animal sanctuaries, local children or older people home in your community, you know. Find something that will make you happy and that will make you feel like you are important, that you matter, that somebody needs you, you know. And I feel that helping others is the easiest path to happiness and deep content. So try that, guys, okay? Environment. What the heck is she talking about? Well, while eating fruits, you will vibrate higher, and low vibrational people will basically leave your life. Let them go, okay? Do not afraid of being alone for a while. Close some doors, old doors, in order to open new ones, okay? New positive people will come into your life. So-called toxic people need to go, like toxins out of your body, you know, and, you know, simple. Toxins out of your life, toxins out of your body, you know, capiche? Of course, makes sense, right? Reconnect with nature, very important. Get out of the not always healthy caves that our apartments and houses are, into the woods, to the river, observe birds, appreciate flowers, wild animals, fresh air, sun, and moon. I mean, there's so many beautiful things on this planet. I believe the most beautiful things are definitely, you know, trees, sea, air, animals, you know, all that stuff. So we are the one and part of the nature, despite the fact we have become the biggest danger for other earthlings and planet Earth in the name of the greed. And that's sad, you know. We are basically trying to change that. You're changing that by trying to, you know, naturally heal whatever trouble you have in your body. So live your life in tune with nature in order to heal. Expose yourself to sun, rain, touch trees to ground yourself. Take your shoes off, right? Earthing, grounding, to regain your magnetic field, to realign your magnetic field so it's in tune with planet Earth. Stop using toxic, unethical cosmetics and detergents too, and wear ethical and healthy clothes from natural materials, because your skin is like a sponge, not a shield. Okay, so I'm talking about organic cotton, hemp, bamboo, linen, like I have, you know. And this is actually non-chemical. Basically, it's no dangerous chemicals inside the black color, because black color is quite complex, right, for coloring. So another suggestion that I have for you, at night, please turn off Wi-Fi in your home and make sure you don't spend too much time on computers, pads, cell phones, you know, to prevent all kinds of overload with FM radiations. Make sure you do not live next to sources of radiation, you know. Put mature trees around your home. You know, and, you know, this radiation, let it be electricity, you know, or from the earth, or 5G, right? You can put mature trees around your home and peace plants around inside your bedroom to protect yourself too, and especially with kids, I think they can sleep way nicer if you do so. And make sure you don't have like mold and toxic materials, you know, inside your home, even furniture, you know, toxic free furniture. Another thing that I really, really like is aromatherapy in baths, in diffuser. And, you know, it's just going to create more soothing and healthy environment and more relaxing, okay? So number 6 would be movement. Like we said, our sewage system does not have a pump, sewage system being lymphatic system, right? Like heart. So we need help, right, to move around this lymphatic waste and cellular waste and get it out of the bodies. If you cannot move too much, start with stretching, right? Some people are in wheelchairs, some people are, you know, they have all kinds of problems. So stretching is good. Deep breathing, Wim Hof, mild Wim Hof, not intense, please. And grounding is very good. So daily walks in nature, you know, just start a little bit, or parks 30 minutes and then more. It's incredible for our health. So it's basically about oxygen, focus on your breathing. You know, this is very important. Then also easy flow yoga, biking, swimming will do great. It will do great to you. And whatever you can do, you know, I think if you have limitations because of your body, because you're hurting and so on, make yourself do something, okay? Try your best to do something. So my favorite thing is like I like to walk to favorite shops on farmers market with my backpack, and I call it a workout, right? Or I like gardening is another lovely sport that is super practical, and growing your own food is probably the most rewarding thing in your life you can do, for sure. Listen to your body, but also push it a little bit, right? Sometimes, even if you do not like feel because it's cold outside or it's hot or rainy or whatever, every day, make your body work. And if it's inside, you know, rebounding or something like that, something a little bit, that would be great. When your kidneys are in better shape and filtering somewhat, you can add some lymphatic massages and steam saunas as well. That's very nice. And then of course, dry fasting if, you know, your skin is in bad shape as well. So I believe in miracles, and regardless what you have been told by allopathic doctors, after biopsies and their tests and so on, you can heal it all, and you will heal it all. Please do not let that fear manipulate you, you know, and your decisions. It takes years, decades for cancer to develop in your body, and you will not die tomorrow if you do not jump into chemo, radiations, and surgeries, because this is the feeling that we always get, you know, like talking to my mom and everybody, you know, when they get diagnosis of cancer, they're just so fearful, so scared. I mean, it makes sense, right? But just take deep breaths and think about it, okay? Remember this video. If you have to watch this video again, watch it again, you know? So please ask your allopathic doctor if, you know, to share with them about, you know, ask them about the statistics, right? About their healing success. After 5 years, for instance, after radiations and chemos and so on, you know, take a few deep breaths and maybe give natural healing a chance for a few months before you decide to use lab-made chemicals, dangerous rays, and lose organs you definitely need, right? Basically, cancer is just another obstacle in life, guys. And warning for you to treat, you know, yourself and your body better. And yeah, it's some kind of like a, you know, alarm, yeah? And please believe in yourself and your body and natural ability to self-heal. And I believe you can do it, okay? If my mom could do it, and so many people, hundreds, thousands of people can do it, I believe you can do it too. Give it a try. And, you know, contact me if you need guidance, if you need help. And I'm just wishing you a lot of love, and talk to you pretty soon. I want to just say something else that I almost forgot. I want to dedicate this video to all my cancer patients that I love with all of my heart, especially the few who left us too early because I came into their lives too late, and way more of those who showed me, you know, there's much more of those who showed me like miracles are normal, and success stories are common, and end of this process of what we do, it can be really, really rewarding. You make me proud, okay? And I will never ever stop fighting for you, okay? All right, love to you.